Well, FBI was offering 50,000 for information leading to the suspected Minnesota assassin Vance Bulger's arrest. But now they have the hitman in custody. On Saturday, 57-year-old Vance Bolter allegedly dressed up like a police, and he had a police uniform, police badge, pulled up in a police car, and shot four people, fatally ending two of their lives. Two of them were lawmakers. He had visited four other lawmakers' houses that morning. I just found out this morning, with the intent to, have a talk with them like how he talked with these two people that he talked to. Lawmakers across the country are literally shaking in their boots. Like they were literally. Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries have been saying for months that, and I quote, this is literally a war and people will lose their lives. But we didn't realize that he meant that literally. Literally. What's going on in American politics? Um, I called this video that I did originally on my video yesterday when I covered this story, something about Tim Walz connected with No King's assassin, something. The news clip was under a minute. The video that I used was under a minute. The total video was under 5 minutes long, but I gave all the specifics of the case. And for some reason, people got in my comments talking about that it's clickbait and this and that, saying I'm lying. Look, for some reason, my audience is not seeing my content unless I embellish a little bit on my title. So I'm going to continue to do that. But I don't lie. I do real research. I've been up all morning reading every single article, watching all the news, just to give you 8 minutes worth of content. So you don't have to watch it. So anyway, Tim Walz. Do you know that Tim Walz reappointed Balter to be advisory of the board in 2019? Reappointed because he initially appointed him in 2016. But the thing about reappointing him to the workforce is Balter is not like a politician or just like a member of the community. Balter he works for a security company, think secret security company. They were saying that Balter's wife was an intern for Tim Walz, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. But um, there's a lot of overlapping similarities that I've ran into just from investigating this myself. Balter, when he's not a political advisor for the governor, he works for a securities company that has previously worked for the largest oil refining company in the United States, that has worked for the world's largest food company based in Switzerland, and has worked for the largest convenience retail company based in Japan, a security company. Balter had 70 other politicians' names on his list. He visited six out of 70. That's almost 10%. For real. And people say that all those Democrats supported Trump's big beautiful deal. Hmm. So I'm saying. So it's not like he's just going after Democrats and they're going to try to pin this on. These are Democrats that kind of switched up on the Democratic Party. So now somebody wants to come talk to him about that. For real. Like I said, 6 out of the 11 names were people from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, that did not support, but everybody else pretty much on the list supported. Anyway, he claims to be the CEO. Bolton claims to be the CEO of a company called Red Lion Group. That's a group that has several government contracts in the Congo in Africa. Yeah, he's not just some madman vigilante. Tim Walz, in an attempt to separate himself from this man, has been publicly shaming everything that he's done. Of course, you're going to do that when you hire the hitman and he gets caught. But Balter works for the exact same company that John Wick works for. I googled the Red Lion Group. I found very little info. This is like one of them companies that you only know if you in the loop. One of them companies that don't really need a public face or a website up, and yet and still they have government contracts in the Congo in Africa. Come on. So anyway, my name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the Fox News clip about it.
Breaking news out of Minnesota, where Fox News can now confirm the gunman accused of shooting two state lawmakers and their spouses has been arrested. 57-year-old Vance Bolter is accused of assassinating Democratic Minnesota State Representative Melissa Horton and her husband, and severely injuring State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Hoffman and his wife underwent surgery, and the lawmakers' homes were less than 10 miles apart. Investigators say early yesterday morning, Bolter, dressed like a police officer, came out of Hortman's home and fired at police before escaping. We're also learning police found a list of 70 names, including other lawmakers and abortion providers in Bolter's car. That car also allegedly looked like a police car. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz is calling the shooting a, quote, act of targeted violence. And President Trump is promising persecution to the fullest extent of the law. The FBI was offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to Bolter's arrest. Joining us now on the phone is former D.C. police detective and defense attorney, as well as a Fox News contributor, Ted Williams. Ted, we're just getting this information in the last 5 minutes or so. I want your take on what we're learning.
Well, what so far from what we know here, and this is all fluid at this time, but that there was a location where they found the automobile and they found what they believe was Bolter's cowboy hat, the cowboy hat that in many of the pictures that he was seen wearing. And as a result of that, law enforcement made a concentration on that part of Minnesota. And it is my understanding, and from what we've been told, there have here been an arrest. I'm somewhat surprised because I thought that with all that we know about Bolter, and we know quite a bit now about him, that he very much was going to resist and probably go out with suicide by cop. But apparently that did not materialize. All indications are that he's under arrest. That's good. That's good for the citizens there in Minnesota. And clearly, tells me that there was excellent law enforcement work.
Yep, something tells me this guy's gonna hang himself from a doorknob when the cameras in the jail cell deactivate. Yeah. But like I said, he worked for the same company that John Wick worked for. Like I said, the only thing I did find on the Red Line Group that he was the CEO of is that they were into year number 3 of a 5-year contract with the central government of Congo in Congo, Africa. And only thing they do in Africa is gentrify. And when they gentrify in Africa, they just they don't do it like how they do in the United States, remodel your neighborhood, make it so where you can't afford to live there no more, move you out. No, they just move you out, move you on up out of there. And he's been out there doing that for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? He's worked for the largest convenience store company in Japan. I just went all over all the specifics. This is not no normal guy just out here, you know, going on a murder spree. So I'm sure other people within the company have that list. Like I said, Democrats are scared. They know exactly what's going on. And I told you why. And I've been saying it for this whole year, and y'all don't want to believe me. What is it going to take for you to believe these Democrats MS-13? All of this simply proves these Democrats MS-13. Now we're literally witnessing a gang war, and y'all don't want to believe me. Tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.